You know, when I first went into Alien Isolation, I wasn't all that much impressed. In fact, I was more impressed by the monotone set by Sigourney Weaver. She introduces the game perfectly, so bleak, so unnerving. She sets the tone for what I know is going to be a game about a creature hell-bent on my demise, a creature unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality. See, the story goes that you're Amanda Ripley, Ripley's daughter, who receives word from a company man that they may have found her mother due to a space vessel called the Anesidora coming across the flight recorder set by Ripley herself 15 years ago on the Nostromo in the original movie. The recorder's been moved to a certain section upon the ship called Sevastopol. You're taken there, and that's where everything goes wrong. See, once you're there, things don't exactly go as hunky-dory. Instead of a welcome committee from the Care Bears lovingly holding your longed-for flight recorder on a nice, fluffy, magical pillow, you're thrown into dark, horrible, isolated corridors, painted with the demented words of people who have clearly seen something extremely fucked up.
Does that say keep payout or keep out? Trust no one. Tomorrow no together future. What the fuck? Tomorrow no future. Welcome to the end of the line. Oh, shivers up the shitters here, people.
Now, this was all well and good, but I immediately started to fear whether this was going to be anything I hadn't seen before. As there was no stamp on the game, the Alien stamp, a lot of it was just shuffling around, while little things like minute sounds in the background try to unease you, and for the most part, it works.
Shit.
But where were the swinging chains? Where was the subtle shadows? Casting a shadow on the wall, all too reminiscent of the alien's tail or its dome. Those are the affiliations that were missing from the game and were initially stopping me from enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, the interiors and the level design were aesthetically gorgeous, but just as a fan, I wanted my Alien fix. I just chalked the slow beginning of the game up to it being more of a tutorial, teaching you how to craft items, essential to success really, because this isn't a game where you can just pick up a medikit, press E, and your life's fully restored. Oh no, in this game you have to combine each little part. Like you'll find something called Component B, SJR injectors, and only when you put them together can you actually use a medikit. It's a little bit fiddly at the beginning, but you soon get used to it.
So what's the last? Is it Component B? And there you go. We have a medikit.
So I did actually understand why the game wasn't giving me the meat and bones of the game, you know, as thick and fast as I wanted. The voice acting in the game is pretty good as well, especially in the set pieces, quite a lot of which do turn up. Situations where Amanda will react to something really, really drastic and you feel her shock pulsing through your body. She acts the exact same way as you would, both body-wise and audio-wise. The game continues down this path until you do eventually, reach the creature, at which point, heed my words, get low, get down to the ground. If you don't want to end up as a slushy, horrible alien diarrhea plop, get down onto the floor and stay there. You'll either have to hide in closets or hide under tables made really, really fluent by the excellent controls, coupled by the fact that Amanda is wonderfully, wonderfully agile. She'll just swoop under tables, swoop under desks at a moment's notice at the first sign of danger. If and when you do manage to outwit the alien and progress to finding the motion tracker, this is where the whole review turns right around. This is where the game gets really, really fun. It brings the gameplay full circle, as it no longer feels like a game of cat and mouse anymore. At least now you've got a faint idea of where the thing might be. Still pinned to the ground, holding the thing up, avoiding vents like a nail through the bollocks.
You up there, you big slimy gritted bastard?
What do we do now? Who's in charge? Organised.
The alien is ruthless, guns don't work, and 9 times out of 10 neither will running away. It's with you every step of the way, made really clear by the thuds and stomps you can hear either above ground or all around. It's big, it's mean, and it wants you dead, waiting patiently for you to make too much noise or fuck up somewhere along the way. And as tense as this is, the alien's AI can sometimes be a little bit questionable. I mean, it can be within lethal proximity 1 minute with me poking the head out, and it can act as if it knows nothing.
Why aren't you killing me? Why aren't you killing me?
And then it can be miles away down the corridor and catch you just as easily the next. The motion tracker is probably the most useful item in the whole game, and get used to it because you and that thing are going to become best friends throughout the rest of the game. The map is also useful as well, as this must be the least linear game I've played since Strider. Anyone expecting an on-rails experience, you can forget it. In fact, the bulk of the game for me was wandering around, actually wondering what to do. Usually solved by finding an out-of-sight vent or finding a terminus that would allow me to unlock a door previously once locked. This can cause you switching between the map menu to the game screen a little bit more often than you'd like, but not too much to ruin the whole game. The save points in the game though were majorly miscalculated towards the start of the game as opposed to the end. At the start of the game you're going from one save point and you're spending what seems like hours getting to the next, forcing me to do the same thing over and over again. It's a good job this game has got the level of quality it has, because I was getting really pissed off at a few points. A little bit annoying, but I soon got over it. Things switch up when other survivors of the Sevastopol catch up with you and are normally always hostile. It's okay though, because I just seen these people as human inventory boxes, mostly because whatever good AI these survivors had seemed to have gone all to the alien. Sometimes they would just look up, staring, not moving, firing a shot every now and again, alerting the presence to the Xeno like a fucking neon light above their head. Don't worry though, they're not safe neither. They can't go making a bunch of noise next to the enemy, unlike some games. Get out. That wasn't a rip on The Last of Us, by the way. I really liked that game as well. I ended up using this to my advantage though. I'd walk into a room, see a hostile, let him shoot, and walk straight back out, and listen to the sweet screams of death from those who had tried to make things even harder for me. More enemies pop up in the game as well, like the androids, who lovingly recreate all the characteristics of Ash from the movie. You know, like when he'd stop and run on the spot, and when one of them comes after you, your heart will come up through your chest, go back down, and fall out of your ass, because those things are scary. Taunting you with stuff like, "I'm going to cut you," attacking you both mentally and physically. And don't think you're safe in the vents neither. I tried hiding in there once and the alien came straight in. Nowhere is safe. Sometimes the alien would be lingering around, looking for me a little bit longer than I'd liked, a little bit too scrutinous. But to be honest, this just made me even more proud to get away. Later, all those things I was talking about, like the alien stamp, are done in buckets. They managed to recreate scenes from the movie and keep it feeling original. It doesn't feel like it's just been copied and pasted from the movie. It feels central to your storyline. And joyfully, there's no bugs in the game, well, except for the one that's hunting you down. Nah, only a few floating guns from a couple of fallen enemies. Apart from that, the game is coded and programmed almost perfectly. Alien Isolation does exactly what it says on the tin, quite literally this time, as I got the Steelbook edition. This cost me £55. That's not bad considering most games are around 50 now anyway. Average, and this does include Crew Expendable. I'm going to give Alien Isolation 8.5 out of 10. It's worth the money. Give it a load of love and it'll give you a load of love back. I want to thank everyone for watching the review. This was actually really hard considering all the editing. And I'll see you all in episode 5.